Hello and welcome to my F1 24 driver career mode here today for part 46 for the American Grand Prix and our second sprint weekend of the season as well. Before we get into the race weekend, the FIA have announced regulation changes for the 2027 season. The aero, the chassis and the power unit changing for next season, but into qualifying now as we round the final corner. We come up to the line. And that first lap's going to put us P12. Not a very good lap. But then our second lap, towards the end of qualifying, we're down half a second with some purple in the middle sector. And we're going to round the final corner to go up to the line and go P5. And that's where we're going to start the sprint.
Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid we have Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Brown, Perez, Tsunoda, Sainz, Gasly, Albon, Ricciardo, Oscar Piastri, Ocon, Stroll, Hamilton, Bottas, Russell, Hülkenberg, Joe and Logan Sargent. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We will soon find out.
So it's time then for the sprint race here in COTA. And we're racing for the sprint, and we haven't got the best of start. It's a good start by Sergio Perez as we head up towards turn 1 up the hill. We're going to try and go to the inside of Perez. He's trying to get round the outside of Leclerc. As now we're going to try and go to the inside of Leclerc. Leclerc's had to back out and go wide, and now through the S's we're all over the road as we've found a way past to re-overtake Leclerc. Leclerc's had a good start. He's lost 2 places. Up the road next though is Sergio Perez, then it's our teammate, then it's Lando Norris, and then it's Max Verstappen, who is ever so close to his next world title at this stage of the season. Leading the race, we go a bit deep, but that might give us some extra traction as we go down the long back straight. We're going to go to the inside of Sergio Perez, and we've got the Red Bull back with our straight line speed, and we're back up into P4 now. In front of us there's Alonso and Lambo going wheel to wheel, and we're going to catch our teammate napping and go down the inside of Alonso, get that place, but we're a bit too far back to have a go at Lando at the minute. But Alonso losing a place to us then, don't think he'll be very happy about that, but we're on the podium. But now we head down towards the back straight, the end of the back straight. Max leads from Lando, we're P3, and we are very quickly captured to the back of him, and we've got him. The straight line speed of this Aston seems to be very good in the early stages of this race. Could we win the sprint? We've bottled a lot of chances for a win before this season. Can this be the one? As there's a red flag. There's a red flag in the sprint after 2 laps. What has happened? It's Esteban Ocon in the Alpine has spun round, and everyone, it's a car park at the end of the back straight as everyone is trying to find a way through. This is the replay. It's gone for a movement down with Ricciardo and Williams and then spun it round and blocked the track, and then he's just driving backwards and forwards. This is it from Ricciardo's point of view. Was there contact into the corner? And there is contact, and Ricciardo's just driven into the side of him, but to be fair, he didn't really have anywhere to go then, but definitely had damage from the, and then he's reversed into the back of the Sauber there as Esteban Ocon. The Sauber is factory. Bottas seeing a chance to go round the outside of absolutely everyone. It's good driving by him, and then he's had to nearly turn towards the gravel to avoid contact. But after that we're back racing for take 2 in the sprint, and it's lights out and away we go, and we haven't had a great start again. We've lost out to Lando, but we're side by side into turn 1. We keep him behind. Max continues to lead. We managed to stay P2 as in the background Perez has got Fernando Alonso at the restart. Can we get Max Verstappen though? We need to beat him in terms of our very slim chances in the championship, but We're getting closer and closer to the back of that Red Bull. We're going to do the old switcheroo. Fake to the inside. Go around the outside of Verstappen. It's gone wrong. Round the outside at that corner before in real life with Lando Norris. He gives the space on the game that he didn't give to Lando Norris. This is Pierre Gasly now in the other Alpine. Pulling over and slowing down big time. Not more reliability for Gasly. He always seems to have the bad reliability in the last couple of seasons in that Alpine. His sprint race is over, and now Max is on the back of the still. Lap 7, a couple of laps to go in the sprint. We couldn't break the DRS. To the inside though goes Max. We're going to have to try and hold it around the outside, but Max has got us back. He's given us the elbow. We've had to back out, and Lando, as there's another spin in the background, it's Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. Leclerc, who was having a good sprint, is blocking the track. Is this going to be another red flag? He's managed to pull out of the way, but there's cars all over the road at the end of the back straight. I don't know where Leclerc's reversed off to. He's gone into the gravel and he's fallen all the way down to stone dead last there. Horrible day for the Ferrari. 2 spins at the same corner. What's happened to Leclerc here? He's just lit up the rear tyres and spun round, and it's a bit of a rookie error, like it was for Ocon for Charles Leclerc there. As now this is Carlos Sainz a little bit further back behind our teammate Fernando Alonso. There's engine smoke there, and it's game over for Carlos Sainz. It's his second engine retirement in the last 3 races. He retired in Baku in the opening couple of laps, and his sprint race is done, and he's on the sidelines just like Pierre Gasly is. But now lap 9 of 10, here comes Max Verstappen again. He's going to go to the outside now. We're going to try and hold him off around the outside. We keep the Red Bull behind. Max is going to have a couple more chances to keep us behind. But lap 10, the final lap, we've pulled away slightly from Max, but the straight line speed of DRS is very, very strong here. Is he going to get us? But he's coming under pressure from Lando. He tries to go around the outside of us. We fend him off, and this will be it for Max. Can we just hold him off in the last couple of corners? As we go into the penultimate corner, we've bottled it time and time again. And yes, it is a sprint, but finally we're going to finish a race on top. We win the sprint race. So that's been the sprint race here in Austin. Finally, we're top of a race result, but it is only the sprint. The job is not done yet. We fend off Max. Lando holds on for P3. Alonso couldn't get Perez back, so finishes P5 just behind the other Red Bull, and then there was 2 retirements from that race, Pierre Gasly and then later on Carlos Sainz. So that's the sprint. Let's go to qualifying for the real thing. As we round the final couple of corners into the final corner, up to the line, and we cross it, and that is going to put us P4. But as we skip on towards the end of the session, we've dropped back quite a bit. We're all the way down in P11, but we've had quite a quick lap here. We're going to cross the line. It's going to be provisional pole, but we're going to drop down to P5 to start the race.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Max Verstappen, who will start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Fernando Alonso, Norris, Brown, Hamilton, Russell, Tsunoda, Sainz, Perez, Gasly, Ocon, Albon, Stroll, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Joe, Bottas, Sargent, and Oscar Piastri. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
so there is a small threat of rain in the race, but we've gone sprinting in Texas. Now it's time for the marathon. As it's lights out and away we go, we haven't got the best of starts. The top 4 have kind of gone into turn 1. We're going to brake later though. We're going to go around the outside of Lando Norris in the McLaren. We're off the track as we tried to look at getting our teammate around the outside, but we're up into P4. Leclerc leads as we skip on further around the lap into the hairpin onto the back straight. Can we get Fernando Alonso here, our teammate? We know we've got a quick race car to win this race potentially. After the sprint we're getting closer and closer to the back of our teammates Aston Martin. There's a lock up there by Leclerc. We're past our teammate Fernando Alonso. Now can we get past Leclerc and Max Verstappen? Max is piling on the pressure on Leclerc. Leclerc spinning in the sprint. He's trying to make sure that doesn't happen in the race as we head down towards the hairpin. Into the hairpin we go. It's a lock-up by Leclerc. He's made a mistake. He's waved the door open for Max. There's contact between the two of them. Now it's a drag race down towards the next corner. And look at the straight line speed of the Red Bull with the DRS. Leclerc's is sitting duck as we get Leclerc, and now we're going to send it on Max to the inside. We give him space. He gives us space. Now we're going to try and go around the outside. Max slams the door shut, but we're not having it. We're still going to try and keep it pinned round the outside. Max takes a massive bit of curb, has to lift. Now Leclerc's back down the inside of the Red Bull. Can Max get the exit to keep Leclerc behind? They're going to be side by side round the long right-hander, but Max keeps the Ferrari behind, and Leclerc, after just a simple mistake, a simple lock-up, has essentially lost 2 positions because of it. But after a couple of laps we find ourselves in the lead of the American Grand Prix. Can we convert this like we converted the sprint? But Max is coming like a steam train down towards turn 1. We're going to try and hold him off around the outside, give him the elbow, but we've been way too kind to Max with the space and we've waved him through, and Max retakes the lead of the American Grand Prix. And now we head down towards the next corner. Max has moved very, very late there. We've had to back out of it. Leclerc though is still very much waiting in the wings at this stage of the race. We've managed to stick with Max though. We're slightly broken away from Leclerc. Can we get the job done again this time on the Red Bull? We're going to swap in the dummy, go to the outside, round the outside of the Red Bull we go, and we've got the job done. Now heading back towards turn 1, Max is going to try and have us back here, down the inside into turn 1. We hold him off, round the outside. We have the extra traction on the racing line to keep the lead of the Grand Prix. We've let so many wins slip through our fingers as Max goes for it again on us. He's back ahead. We're going to try and brake later. Now try and keep it pinned round the outside. He gives us the space, but we try and keep it down the inside again. We're slightly further behind. Max has the extra traction though to go around the outside. We're going to swap in the dummy, catch him napping, go back down the inside of the Red Bull. We've slightly got our nose ahead as we go side by side all the way round that long right-hander. Max isn't giving up. We've got our slightly ahead. We're going to give him the elbow and he has to lift, and Leclerc has gone past the Red Bull and on the inside of Max now. Of course it is Fernando Alonso. Can't get the traction though to get ahead of Max, but now he's right in the slipstream. He's going to have DRS, but so is Max, so it's going to cancel each other out. Alonso tries to go around the outside of Max. He's now going to have the inside line. Is he going to keep his foot in? So is Max, so neither driver going to give up. But the side by side through the S's, and eventually Alonso has to admit defeat and back out of that one. What good racing here in COTA, as now we're coming under pressure from the Ferrari of Leclerc. Leclerc has got the job done on us. We're going to tuck into his slipstream, go back round the outside. I think there was nearly contact there as we nearly dropped the rear, but to the inside of Leclerc we go. We keep him behind, but the Ferrari is not giving up on trying to win this race. and take the lead. We're going to keep the inside line and force him wide. Meantime though, the clouds are covering because there is a threat of rain in this race if it wasn't already spicing up here in COTA. It is now. Leclerc though still on the back of us. The track is getting darker and darker as the clouds go in. Leclerc has us at the inside. We're going to try and keep it pinned down the inside like we did in the sprint at the start. We keep Leclerc behind and he backed out of it going through the S's. What good racing here in COTA. It's a three-way battle of four-way battle for the win. It's just like it was at Silverstone a couple of races ago. Here comes Leclerc to the inside again. We're going to force him right to the inside. We're going to have to try and keep it pinned here. Around the outside we go. Can we get the traction to get back down the inside of him? Leclerc's going to try and hold it around the outside. He goes wide. Max thought he'd have a look at the inside, but the rain is near enough arriving here. It is a couple of laps away, says Mark. It's very much on its way, but when it comes we don't know. As to the inside, Leclerc goes for us again, down the inside. We try and keep it pinned down the outside. The rain has arrived here on lap 15 and it is very, very slippy now as we tiptoe through the final sector, trying to keep those behind us. We just couldn't break the DRS. If we could have, it would make our life a lot easier in this race. You can see how we're struggling to get the grip, to get the power down. It is time for the wet tyres in this race. We're going to pit. Surely those behind are going to follow us in. It's so slippy. We box so, and everyone pretty much is going to stay out. We nearly hit the wall coming into the pits there. We really had to lift to avoid hitting the wall on pit exit. Everyone though has stayed out. So either we've been an absolute genius here and timed it to perfection, or we've got it wrong and we've potentially thrown away another chance of a win this season. It's a 2.5 second stop. It's bang on. Great stop. We've come out stone dead last, only ahead of Logan Sargent in P19. Now, as you can see, the Sauber up the road of Valtteri Bottas. It's still pointless this season. It's not looking good for him so far today. And by the time we've got to the back straight, we've caught them up. They're struggling so much on those dry tyres. They have to box for the Inter now. Surely we've got so much grip to go right round the outside of the Haas. Look how much they're struggling on those medium tyres. We've gone down the inside of the other Sauber of Joe, but Leclerc and Max are all staying out. We could gain some serious time, and you can see the gap. We're gaining 5 seconds a lap on these, as up the road is Lewis Hamilton in the Ferrari, and you can see just through sector 1 the time that we've gained on the Ferrari. They're so slow on the mediums, so by the time they do box we may have quite the lead, because surely they have to. They're not going to get to the end on tyres like this. We're going to go late though, down the inside into the hairpin on Lewis Hamilton at the road next. Look at the extra grip we've got coming out of the corner. Albon's got no chance of keeping us behind, and now with our straight line speed we're on the back of Lance Stroll to the inside. That RB is not good in a straight line anyway, but you get the job done on the RB. Lap 18 though, and no one is still pitting. They're all still out there on the mediums, which I guess is going to help them in terms of tyre life, but it's not helping them in terms of time. Surely we've got this right. Surely they've got it wrong. We're past Piastri, we're past Albon in the Williams as well, our former teammates. We're just absolutely flying here. We pitted on lap 15. It's now lap 18, and everyone's still going on those medium dry tyres as we go down the inside of Gasly there. Next up the road is the Mercedes of Carlos Sainz, as we go round the outside. We try and get Ocon there, as finally at the end of lap 18 Charles Leclerc from the lead of the Grand Prix is going to pit. So is Max. You can see that Ocon boxing, but we're coming around the final corner. We've gained pretty much a pit stop on those we were battling in the race. As we get past Carlos Sainz, we're going to be in the net lead of the race. It's a poor pit stop by Ferrari if they have to wait. Leclerc's just a lot of time. Max now is gone back into P2. And lap 19, you can see the grip. Perez has had to stay out because of Max boxing, and you can see the speed and extra grip and confidence we've got to catch up to the back of Perez, how quickly you've caught him back, and we're going to send it round the outside. Look at the extra grip we've got, and we're back into the lead of the Grand Prix. As you can see the gap now, as everyone boxes, we are 10 seconds ahead of Max Verstappen. That's what we've gained, as the track is absolutely soaked now. But when everything started to equal out, we were struggling in the first sector on these tyres now, slightly warm compared to those behind. Look at the gap between us and Max, how quickly it has come down. It's 4.5 seconds. We were losing a second just in the first sector alone through the S's. We just didn't have the confidence compared to what Max seems to have. As pulling over to retire is the Haas of Nico Hülkenberg. His day is done, but by lap 24 you can see behind us, there's Hülkenberg retiring. The virtual safety car is out, but look who's in our mirrors. Max Verstappen. We've had a bit of an air in these heaters. It was great whilst everyone was on the dries, but we've struggled, especially in this first sector. We just don't have the confidence that the Red Bull of Max has, as this is Esteban Ocon pulling over to retire with a big engine failure. It was his teammate in the sprint, and it's him in the race itself. But lap 27, there is just 2 laps to go. Leclerc's caught at the back of our battle as well. We lead though from Max, and Max locks up into turn 1 and waves through Charles Leclerc. It's just like it was on the opening couple of laps of this race when Leclerc locked up. They're going to go side by side though through the S's. No one's going to give up here. Max eventually has to, as Leclerc takes P2. Now lap 28 of 28. Can this time, there's just a couple more corners to go, can we keep the Ferrari behind? He's too far back to do anything on us. We just need to keep the car pointing in the right direction, and we can win this Grand Prix. As now we come into the final couple of corners, we go into the penultimate corner, and we should have won in Belgium, we should have won in Zandvoort, we bottled it in Monza, we bottled it in Baku, but finally we finish on the top step of the podium. We win in COTA.
A truly magnificent drive then, and a great performance from the entire team to secure victory here in Austin.
Well, that's 2 race wins in a row for them. I think they'll be really happy with that. I mean, 1 race win is great, but to have 2, you know that you've got it. You're a little bit more comfortable in your skin. This is a great sign of maybe what's to come next.
It's time to present the top drivers with their trophies for today's Grand Prix. And there are a lot of people in the paddock very happy with this result. It's Aston Martin on the top step.
finally, we win a Grand Prix. It's the double in COTA. We have our second of the season, and you could argue that we should have more than 2. It's been a long season of what ifs in terms of race wins for us, but this one counts. This one will go into the history books as a win, holding off Leclerc and Max. We just didn't have the pace when the rain really came down, and it's a great race as well. Look at Yuki Tsunoda finishing P4, keeping himself out of the chaos, and P4 is an unbelievable result in that RB for him. And then it's George Russell rounding out the top 5. Alonso dropped all the way down to P7, not a good race for him. And then down at the back there was just a 1 retirement in Hulkenberg. Ocon, although he retired, is classified as finishing in P19. So in terms of the Drivers' World Championship now, and if things go his way, Max Verstappen could leave Mexico next time out as a 6-time champion of the world. He has a 70-point lead over Alonso, 75 points over us. That result for us really ever so slimly brings us back into play. It's a long shot though in terms of the championship for us, and then Lando is P4 and Leclerc rounds out the top 5. And then down at the back there's still a couple of drivers still yet to score. The constructors then, and it's a good day for us as we retake the lead of the Constructors World Championship by 1 single point ahead of Red Bull. Is very much game on for us. And then the only team still yet to score is Haas. Another poor day for them. But that's been your American Grand Prix. We've done the double, sprint win and the race win. We go though to Mexico. Goodbye.